So, I'm not much of a theory channel, but I'm an Undertale fanatic. Plus, I've always been interested in Sans. Heck, I'm even writing the script in Comic Sans. So I've just hit 1,000 subscribers and I've decided to make an Undertale theory video. Who knows, this might spark a series. I want to start off by listing 2 questions I want to answer. Why is Sans depressed? And how is he related to Alphys, Papyrus, and Gaster? Let's get the obvious out of the way. Papyrus and Sans are brothers, right? I think we could go deeper. Let's revisit this later. Well, to start, I think we can narrow down the answer to the first question. He misses someone. Who does he miss? Well, from the Azrael Dreamer battle, we hear Sans say some weird stuff. Quote, "Just give up. I did." End quote. The next thing he says is, quote, "Why even try?" End quote. And finally, quote, "You'll never see him again." And end quote. Now, the last quote really intrigues me. He obviously remembers someone, tried to get them back, and stopped trying. He misses the person he wants to get back. Now, I could think of 2 people this could be. The first person is Papyrus. He could be referring to a genocide run, where he loses Papyrus, the person he cares the most about. When putting this under consideration, the quotes make much more sense. Except for the last one. We know that Sans is very well aware of the resets, and unless Papyrus was removed from all of time and space, he'd definitely never see it again. Wait, time and space? Where did we hear those words before? This is where my second choice comes into play. The second person is Gaster. Before we start, I'd like to say, although I like the Mystery Man sprite, don't you think that the guy that tucks you into bed in the True Lab would fit Gaster more? I mean, the True Lab was supposedly once Gaster's. It's just my opinion. I'm sure you guys are very aware who Gaster is. However, I will update you anyways. Gaster, a figure who is only officially associated with 4 Gaster followers and Goner Kid. The Gaster followers explain that Gaster was the old royal scientist before Alphys and fell into his own creation, scattered across time and space. Many speculate that this was the core. This is assumed due to Alphys letting on she didn't create the core's blueprints. Goner Kid tells us nothing directly about Gaster, but something that you wouldn't generally say. Quote, "Have you ever thought about a world where everything is exactly the same, except you don't exist? Everything functions perfectly without you." End quote. Many think that they are referring to Gaster, as he once existed but no longer does in any time or place. So, what can we conclude from this? Well, nothing yet. It's only when we visit the True Lab, which is only accessible in True Pacifists, where we find closure. First, in the True Lab, we encounter journal entries, some of which are written with proper capitalization and punctuation. However, there are others, written in all lowercase. Who do we know that writes in all lowercase? That's right! Also, why do we associate Megalovania with Sans more than Sans with Sans? I mean, yeah, it's his battle theme, but Sans is always played no matter what path you take in Undertale. Unless you have the game on mute the whole entire time. Well, shame on you for neglecting the Great Fox's beautiful music skills. So, where was I? Right. So, we know that Sans and Alphys have once worked together. This answers my "how is Sans related to Alphys" question. But you can't spell duo without trio. Wait, you can, can't you? I think you've guessed who the third person is. Gaster! It makes the most sense, and it makes even more sense when you read Entry 18, an otherwise inaccessible entry in a normal playthrough. The entry provides you with a series of hands and other symbols known as wingdings. Translated, you probably get the weirdest entry next to the flowy ones. Why are Wingdings and Gaster related? Well, Gaster's full name is W.D. Gaster, or in other words, Wingding Aster. The entry basically explains a bit of Gaster's backstory, but this theory is about Sans. At the end of his very, very long exposition, Gaster states, "What do you 2 think?" Referring to none other than Alphys and Sans. Now, we've pretty much answered my "how is Sans related to Gaster" question, right? Well, I'm going to take this theory 1 step forward. Okay, maybe a million steps forward, and say that Sans is Gaster's son. I'm not saying that Sans was necessarily born the traditional way most babies are born. Maybe he was some science experiment, but that doesn't matter. This would also mean Papyrus is Gaster's son too, but more on that later. Remember earlier when I called Gaster Wingding Aster and not Wingding Gaster? That's because I think that the G in Gaster ties in with the ding. Also, Aster is a font on its own. It's similar to the font of Sans Z's that appear when he falls asleep. Coincidence? Well, I mean, we're talking about Toby Fox, so no. So let's recap. Sans, who helped his father Gaster along with Alfie's work on the core, is depressed due to Gaster falling into the core, getting killed, and getting removed across time and space. Although wiped from most memories, Sans could vaguely remember him and was determined to either bring him back or travel to a time where they were together. Eventually, he gave up. Now, we still have one more question to answer. How is Sans related to Papyrus? In biological terms, they're brothers. But as I said earlier, Sans might have just been a science experiment. FAN5, maybe. So, Papyrus would have had to have been one too, right? But would Gaster only create 2 artificial souls? Or were they just the only ones left to survive? Maybe the only reason they did is because some determination extract was injected into both of their left eye. This is all speculation, but at least we know there's more to Sans than smile and dust. Hey guys, end card. I just want to say thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Sorry the special is a little delayed. We're well over 1,000 now. I'm really happy we got here. Well, I got here. Well, no, we got here. I couldn't have done this without all 1,000 of you. Okie dokie, bye-bye.